Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel and welcome back to the 1985 season in season ticket baseball. Today we are at Shea Stadium in New York City for a National League matchup. We have the Cincinnati Reds in town to play the New York Mets. Historically, the Reds won this game 4-0, but as usual, we will see what season ticket has to say. As for current standings, the Reds come into this game with a record of 50 wins and 42 losses. Good for third place in the NL West. They're 4.5 back of the Astros for the division lead. As for the Mets, they come into today's game at 45 and 47, which is 2 games under 500. They'd be out of the playoffs because of both division place and being under 500 anyway. They are 13.5 back of the Cardinals in the National League East. But as usual, we will see what season ticket has to say about both teams' respective standings in this one. So without any further ado, what say we jump right into this one? Starting pitcher today for the New York Mets is Ron Darling. 16-6 with a 2.90 ERA. 248 innings pitched, 167 strikeouts, 114 walks, and 21 home runs in 85. As the rest of the Mets get loose behind Darling, we will take our first look at the Reds' starting lineup. Leading off today, we've got Eddie Milner in center field, Max Venable in left field, Pete Rose at first base, Dave Parker in right field, Buddy Bell is at third base, Dave Concepcion is at shortstop, Ron Esther is at second base, Dan Billardeo is catching, and Tom Browning, our starting pitcher, has got a pitcher batting card. Bear with me a second. I've got to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. There we are. Leading off for the Reds in this one is Eddie Milner. 254 average, 3 home runs, 33 RBIs in 85. We are using orange, white, and blue dice. Mets are the home team. Darling will look in and get the sign from Carter. We are just about set as fans at Shea Stadium are filing in. We've got a sellout here at Shea Stadium. Darling will get the sign from Carter. Will the Mets make up any ground in the NL East, or can the Reds strengthen their position in the NL West? Only the dice know, and finding out what they know requires us to go to our usual destination. That is the first pitch. And we will start off with a 651 going over to Shea Stadium already. And that'll be a ground ball over to short. Chapman will grab that one. He will turn and fire that over to first. That is out number 1. And we are underway here at Shea Stadium. Max Venable now steps into the batter's box. 289 average, no homers, 10 RBI, and 85. Darling looks into Carter for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. And that'll be a 603, sending us right back over to Shea Stadium. And a 603 is going to be a ground ball over to second. Grabbing that one is Chapman once again. He will make the play, and that will be out number 2. And Pete Rose, now the batter. 264 average, 2 home runs, 46 RBI, and 85. Darling looking in at Carter for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 195. And a 195. Rose is going to extend the inning with a bloop single. I will apologize. You may occasionally hear me sniffling a bit or hacking up a lung like that. I'm still in the tail end of this cold. And here's Dave Parker. 312 average, 34 home runs, 125 RBI, and 85. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 522. That's going to be looking at Carter, 522. That'll be a called strike 3 on Parker, and that will retire the side, as Darling manages to get a curveball over the outside corner. Nothing across except the single for the Reds. Score is now Cincinnati 0, New York coming to bat. I do not miss that touchpad dragging on me. Starting pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds today is Tom Browning. 20-9 with a 3.55 ERA. 261 and a third innings pitched, 155 strikeouts, 73 walks, and 29 home runs in 85. And while the Reds get loose behind Browning, we will take our first look at the Mets starting lineup. Leading off for the Mets, we've got Lenny Dykstra in center field. Kelvin Chapman is at second base. Keith Hernandez is at first base. Gary Carter's catching. Darryl Strawberry is in right field. George Foster's in left field. Howard Johnson is at third base. Hold on a second. I've got to go mute my computer once I get done with this. Rafael Santana is at shortstop. And Ron Darling, the pitcher, has got his own pitcher batting card. So let me go get my... Well, I'll finish laying out the lineup. I'll lay the lineup back up. Then I'm going to go take care of a couple things. And then we'll be able to continue without, hopefully, further distractions. Also wanted to make sure I had my phone close by. So we are all set there. And now we're all set to get into the bottom of the first. Leading off for the Mets is Lenny Dykstra. 254 average, 1 home run, 19 RBIs, and 85. And I don't think I ever muted my speakers out there. Never mind, I did mute my speaker out there. So I wanted to make sure I had all that sorted out. Browning will get the sign from Bill Ordeo. He will set. Here's the windup. And here comes the pitch. That is going to be a 321. Dykstra is going to lift that one into center field. Milner will get under that one for the Reds, ranging in for that one slightly. But he will make the catch, and that will be out number 1. Kelvin Chapman, now the batter. We had to call his name a couple times on putouts. 174 average, no home run, and 7 RBI in 85. Browning looking in at Bill Ordeo for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 436 against a lefty. 436 is going to be lined right to shortstop. Concepcion puts up his glove in self-defense as the ball will slam into it for the second out of the inning. Two outs, and Hernandez is now the batter. Keith Hernandez is up. 309 average, 10 home runs, 91 RBI, and 85. Browning will get the sign from Bill Ordeo. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. With a 627, that'll turn into a 637 because the home team is batting. But all that's going to do is change the destination of the fly ball to go into center field. Milner going back for that one a little bit, but he won't. He'll slow down quickly. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Mets here in the bottom of the first. We have no score here at Shea Stadium after 1. As Troy Sawyer now joins us here at Shea Stadium. Looking forward to Mystical Munchies, but thought you'd catch me first live. Well, all good either way, Troy. Hopefully you enjoyed today's game, and we will have a doubleheader. I think we will have a doubleheader later tonight, so stay tuned for that one. And now back to business, and I'm liking having the mouse rather than the touchpad. Top of the second, we'll see the Reds lead off with Buddy Bell. 219 average, 6 home runs, 36 RBI, and 85. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. That will be a 212 against a righty. 212 is going to turn into a 412 and a 412. Bell's going to trap to first with a leadoff walk in the inning. As the infield will move to double play depth for Dave Concepcion to step into the batter's box. 252 average, 7 home runs, 48 RBI, and 85. Bell, not a threat to do much on the base paths. He will hold, but the Reds are going to call for a hit and run here, as they're going to try to stay out of a double play situation. Where did my strategy? Here we go. So the Reds are going to try a hit and run here pretty early. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 619, and a 619 is going to be popped up on the infield. Getting under that at second base for the Mets is going to be Chapman. He will make the catch for 1 out in the inning. Ron Esther now steps into the batter's box for the Reds. 295 average, 1 home run, 34 RBI, and 85. Reds are going to try the hit and run again. Darling will get the sign. They'll try it again. Darling will get the sign from Bell. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 540. That's going to be hit over to the second baseman. Second baseman is Chapman once again, and a 540 is going to be a ground ball right to Chapman, but Bell coming in too fast. He's going to beat the ball over to second, and that will be the 2nd out of the inning, as Bell will advance to second on that ground ball. Two outs, and here's Dan Billardeo. 167 average, 1 home run, 9 RBI, and 85. Bell, still not a threat to do much. He will hold. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 188. A 188 is going to be a walk, as Billardeo will work a 2-out walk out of the at-bat. I do not envy the task that the next batter for the Reds has. The next batter is, of course, Tom Browning, who's got a pitcher batting card, and as usual, no individual pitcher batting stats on these cards. Darling will get the sign from Carter. Fans at Shea Stadium on their feet, hoping Darling can get out of trouble. Darling will set, and he will pitch. That is a 532. That'll be hit right over to first baseman Hernandez, and that'll be a ground ball right to him. Darling coming over, but Hernandez will wave him off and take that to the bag himself to retire the side. 2 walks, but the Reds unable to take advantage as we head into the bottom of the 2nd. Leading off the bottom of the 2nd for the Reds, for the Mets, I should say, we've got Gary Carter as Browning finishes up his warm-up tosses. 281 average, 32 home runs, 100 RBI, and 85. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. That is, oh boy, that's a 697. That'll turn into a 707. And Carter thinks he's got a hold of one. That is deep to center field. That Carter's got a power of a 9. Does he give the Mets the lead with the first swing of the bat, with his first swing of his bat? And not a doubt about it, that ball is going to get out of here with a boom! That ball is pretty high. That ball is pretty deep to center field. Milner is going back for that one. He's back to the track, back to the wall, and that ball is gone. Home run, Gary Carter. Mets take a 1-0 lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! Browning made actually that was coming off, they came off the ballpark card. That just leapt off of Carter's bat as Browning pitched him a meatball and Carter turned that into pizza, and it's now 1-0 Mets. Here's Darryl Strawberry. 277 average, 29 home runs, 79 RBI, and 85. Browning has got to have instant amnesia from that. He will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 487. Strawberry against the lefty at 487 is going to be a fly ball into center field. This time, unlike the last pitch, Milner is going to get to this one. He won't have to go back as far for it, but there will be one out in the inning. And here's George Foster. 263 average, 21 home runs, 77 RBI, and 85. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 296 against a righty, 296. Uh-oh. Foster thinks he's got a hold of one. That is deep to left field. Hold on. 297 coming off the pitcher card. That's deep to left field, right. Foster has got a power of a 9. Does he extend the Mets' lead? No! Foster's going to get under that one. He'll let that into left field. Going back for that one is Venable. He'll be back toward the track, but he's going to have room to pull that in for the second out of the inning. Stadium groans. Ugh. 2 outs in the inning, and here's Howard Johnson. 242 average, 11 home runs, 46 RBI, and 85. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 365 and a 365. Howard Johnson's going to continue the inning with a base hit on the infield. Rafael Santana steps into the batter's box now. 257 average, 1 home run, 29 RBI, and 85. Johnson edging off of first, but he's not a threat. He won't go anywhere. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 284 against a righty, 284. Uh-oh. Santana thinks he's got a hold of one. That one's deep to center field, but Santana's got a 0 power on that one. And Santana's going to get under that one and lift it into the left field. Once again, going back for that's Venable. He'll be back toward the track, but he'll have enough room to track that one down and retire the side. 1 run on 2 hits, a solo blast by Gary Carter. Score is now 1-0 Mets after 2. Browning making several bad pitches in the inning, only one of which the Mets were able to make him pay for. Top of the third coming up brings us back to the top of the order for the Reds. Here's Milner. Milner's 0 for 1 today. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 468, Milner against a righty, 468 is going to be popped up on the infield. Getting under that at third base is going to be Johnson. He will make the catch, and that is out number 1. One out in the inning, and here's Venable. Venable today is 0 for 1. He grounded out his first time up. Darling looks to Carter for the sign. He will set. He will pitch. With a 477 against a righty, a 477. Venable's going to get a hold of one. That's going to get all the way to the wall, and that's going to be a triple for Venable. The infield is going to have to play in, and here's Rose. Rose today is 1 for 1 with a single. Fans at Shea Stadium feeling very nervous, as they know Rose could tie this game. Venable is going on contact. Is he? Let's see. Yes. Venable is going on contact. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 632. 632 is going to be popped up on the infield. Getting under that at shortstop is going to be Santana. He will make that catch, and that will be out number 2. Venable, of course, has to hold at third. 2 outs, and Parker is now the batter. Parker today struck out looking his first time up. Darling will get the sign from from Carter. He will set, he will pitch. With a 167. And a 167 is going to be a 2-out walk by Parker. As now the Reds have runners at the corners with 2 outs. And suddenly you've got Shea Stadium very nervous. Here's Bell. Bell today has a walk of his own. Darling trying to get out of the inning without any damage. Fans at Shea Stadium on their feet, hoping for a big-time pitch. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 382. And a 382 is going to be a fly ball into left field. Getting under that one is going to be Foster. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. A triple and a walk, but the Reds can't get anybody home as we get set for the bottom of the third. Stadium size. Phew! Stopping in to check in with chat real quick. Bottom of the third, we'll see the bottom of the Mets order. Here's Ron Darling with his own pitcher batting card. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and here comes the pitch. With a 622, that'll turn into a 632, and that'll get popped up on the infield to shortstop. Coming under that is going to be Concepcion, popped maybe about a couple hundred feet high, but Concepcion will make that catch, and that will be out number 1. Batter now is Dykstra. Dykstra flew out his first time up. He flew out to center. Browning looking into Billardeo for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here comes the pitch. With a 211. A 211 against a lefty is going to be a ground ball over to second. Grabbing that one is going to be Esther. He will make the play over to first for out number 2. Chapman, now the batter. Chapman is 0 for 1. He lined out to short his first time up. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 258 against a righty at 258. Uh-oh. Chapman thinks he's got a hold of one. That is deep to center field. But Chapman has got a power of a 0. Does he extend the Mets' lead or the inning? Chapman's actually going to extend the inning in a big way, as that is going to be a double into center field. And here's Hernandez. Hernandez is 0 for 1 today. Browning trying to get out of this inning with no further damage. He will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 276 against a lefty, 276. Uh-oh. Hernandez is into one. That is deep to right field. Hernandez has got a power of a 4. Can he give the Mets the lead? Can he extend the Mets lead? No! Hernandez is going to get under that one. Getting into that one. Getting to that one in right field is going to be... Hold on. Let me make sure I'm checking the right place. Because I did that last night and I had to take a home run away. 12. Okay, so I just need to change who's getting under it, since that is still going to be popped. It's still going to be a fly ball into right field. This one is Parker getting under this one. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except for the double by Chapman. Score remains 1-0 Mets after 3. Yep, and I forgot to move the batting icon over to the Mets. Whoops. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy a little bit of Saturday afternoon baseball. Top of the 4th coming up, and we're looking at the second half of the Reds order. Here's Concepcion. Concepcion popped out his first time up. Darling finishes stretching out. He'll get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 5.33, that's over to Hernandez, and it's hit right to him on a two-hopper. Hernandez will wave off Darling coming over to the bag, take that to the bag himself. 1 out in the inning. Here's Esther. Esther today is 0 for 1. Darling getting the sign once again from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 228, I should say, against a switch left, 228 is going to turn into a 428. And against a righty, that's going to be a ground ball over to second. Getting to that one is going to be Chapman. He will make the play over to first for out number 2. Two outs, and here's Billardeo. Billardeo has a walk. Darling gets the sign from Carter once again. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 354, and a 354 is going to be a ground ball over to short. Santana, ranging to his left, takes a hot grounder. He'll throw that over to first and get Billardeo by a couple steps, but that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Reds here in the top of the 4th, as we get set now for the bottom of the 4th. And leading off the bottom of the 4th, we've got the heart of the Mets order. Here's Carter. Carter has the solo bomb that's been our only scoring so far. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 440 against a lefty, a 440 is going to be a ground ball over to short. Concepcion will grab that one to his left. He'll make the throw over to first. 1 out in the inning. Peg didn't want to stay, but it does now. Batter now is Strawberry. Strawberry today is 0 for 1. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 535, that's hit over to first base where Rose waits for it. And a 535, it's going to come right to Rose. Rose will wave off Browning coming over to cover. 2 outs in the inning. Foster, now the batter. Foster is 0 for 1. He flew out to the left his first time up. Browning gets the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and here comes the pitch. A 445. Foster against a lefty with a 445. He's going to come through in a big way, and that's going to be a double into the gap. Johnson now the batter as the Reds get surprised with 2 outs. Johnson is 1 for 1. Foster edging off of second, but he's not a threat. He's not going anywhere. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 268 against a switch right. 268. Browning with another potential mistake. That is deep to center field. Johnson has got a power of a 7. Does he extend the Mets' lead? No, Johnson gets under that one. He can't believe he got under it. Venable will wait for it. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. Stadium groans. Ugh. Nothing across except the double for the Mets. Score remains 1-0 Mets after 4. Browning making a lot of suspect pitches, but the Mets just keep getting under them. They can't get those. This game should probably be about 4 or 5-0, probably in the favor of the Mets, if I'm being perfectly honest with the way Browning's been pitching today. Top of the 5th, speak of the devil, Browning leads off the inning. Browning is 0 for 1. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 364 based on his contact rating of a 2. 364. There's going to be a called strike 3 on Browning. He will get frozen by a changeup for strike 3. That'll be out number 1. Here's Milner. Milner today is 0 for 2. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 579. That's into left field. That sounds like it's going to be trouble. Foster waits for that one, and a 579 is going to be a base hit as Milner will reach first on a long single. That'll bring the infield to double play depth, and here's Venable. Venable is actually 1 for 2 with a triple. Milner, Milner's going to try to get the jump to steal. Darling's got a hold of a 7, but Milner's got a steal of a 6. Can Milner get the jump over at first? And 11, 15, no. Actually, hold on. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So 11 and 6 is 17. Yes, Milner does get the jump, and he's going. Milner is off to second on the steal. Carter coming up throwing. What happens with the throw? Throw is going to be high. Milner will be safe with a stolen base. A very heads-up play as Milner managed to catch a breaking ball to run on. He goes to second, and the double play is now off the table for the Mets. And the tying run is now 180 feet away. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 616. And a 616 is going to be a called strike 3 on Venable. He got him on a changeup for strike 3, out number 2. Stadium cheers. Yay! And here's Rose. Rose is 1 for 2 today. Milner thinking about trying to go to third, but he will hold on. Actually, is he going to hold on that? Yes, he's going to hold. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 697. And a 697 is going to be a walk, as Rose will work a 2-out walk out of the at-bat. Hopefully I'm coughing all this crud out of my system, but here's Parker. Parker is 0 for 1 with a walk. Fans at Shea Stadium are nervous. Parker has got big-time power. Darling knows he's got to be careful. Carter will go out to talk to Darling on the mound. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 538. 538 is going to be to Hernandez, and that is going to be a base hit into right field. Milner, right fielder today for the Mets is Strawberry with a forearm. He's going to hold at third. and the bases are full of Reds. Here's Bell. Bell today is 0 for 1 with a walk. I'm going to take a drink before I continue. There we go. All right. Darling will get the sign from Carter. Fans at Shea Stadium, very nervous. Darling will set, and he will pitch. That is a 249 against a righty. 249 is going to be grounded right back to Darling. Darling will turn, throw that over to Hernandez at first, and that will retire the side. Two hits and a walk, but the Reds get out of it, get nothing out of it. You lose. Good day, sir. As we get set for the bottom of the fifth. Stadium size. Phew. Another very scary situation for the Mets as the Reds manage to load the bases, but that's how the Reds leave them. Bottom of the fifth is going to see the bottom of the Mets order. Here's Santana. Santana is 0 for 1 today. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 574. That'll be into left field. Waiting for that one is Venable, and that'll be a nice, easy fly ball. Venable maybe taking a couple steps in for that one, but he will make the catch, and that will be out number 1. Darling, now the batter. Darling's 0 for 1. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, Darling will wait for the pitch, and Browning will pitch. With a 567, that's over to shortstop. That's over to Concepcion, and a 567 is going to be a base hit into left field, and Darling is going to help his own cause. He'll be content at first base with the single. Jumping up and down on the base, saying DH. I don't need no stinking DH. What he may need is a designated runner, though, as the infield will go to double play depth. The batter here is Dykstra. Dykstra today is 0 for 2. The Mets are going to try a hit and run here. Try to stay out of a double play. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 510, and that'll be a ground ball right back to Browning. Browning will fire that over to first for the out. 2 outs in the inning. Darling will make second, though, as the hit and run was on. Good thing the Mets called the hit and run there, or else they would be out of the inning right now. And here's Chapman. Chapman is 1 for 2 with a double. Darling is 180 feet away. Can the Mets get him home? Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set. He will pitch. That is a 450 against the lefty. A 450 is going to be a ground ball right back to Browning. He will once again throw that over to Rose at first, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the single for the Mets. Score remains 1-0 Mets after 5. Top of the 6th brings us to the middle of the Reds order. Here's Concepcion. Concepcion is 0 for 2. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 470 against a righty, 470 against a righty is going to be a ground ball over to third. Johnson will pick that one up. He will make the throw over to first for out number 1. One out in the inning, and here's Esther. Esther is 0 for 1. Darling looking into Carter for the sign once more. He will set, and he will pitch. Excuse me. And a 571 is going to be a fly ball of some kind into left field. Foster waits for that one, and he won't have to go too far for that one. Maybe take a couple steps to his right, but he will pull that down for out number 2. Villardeo now waits in the batter's box. He's 0 for 1 with a walk today. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. Hold on, I don't think I ever updated. Nope, I never adjusted these. That is a 260. Darling against a righty with a 260. That's going to be a called strike 3 on Villardeo, as the high heat just catches enough of the corner for strike 3, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Reds here in the top of the 6th. Villardeo going back yelling at the ump saying, that was high. The ump says, no, you're high. You're also out. Go sit down and get ready to go get ready to get back in the field. I knew where I was going with that. I just couldn't articulate it. Bottom of the 6th coming up, and we are looking at the heart of the Mets order. Here's Hernandez. Hernandez today is 0 for 2. Browning will get the sign from Villardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 3-12. And a 3-12 is going to be a called strike 3 on Hernandez. Curveball gets the outside corner for strike 3. 1 down. Hernandez yells, hey, that pitcher was out of bounds. Hernandez, the umpire says, no, you're out of bounds. You're also out. You go sit. Here's Carter. Carter has the solo home run that's been our only scoring so far. Browning gets the sign from Villardeo. He will set, and here comes the pitch. With a 309, and a 309 is going to be a fly ball into right field. Parker waits for that one. He will step back for that one a little bit, but he'll haul it in for out number 2. And here's Strawberry. Strawberry's 0 for 2 today. Browning looking in at Villardeo for the sign. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 645. That'll turn into a 655, and that'll be a ground ball over to third. Bell will get to that one. He will throw that across the diamond to retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Mets here in the bottom of the 6th. Score is still 1-0 Mets after 6. Top of the 7th coming up, and I am at least somewhat surprised that we've got a pitcher's duel in this one. The Reds are going to let Browning continue to pitch here. He will bat, but we are going to get some activity in the Reds bullpen as starting to get loose for the Reds is going to be, they're looking at righty switch righty. Let's see, righty switch righty is going to be, the bullpen is not that good for the Reds, but they're going to get Tom Hume warming up for the Reds just in case Browning runs into trouble. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 484 based on his I rating of a 3. A 484 is going to be a fly ball into right field. Getting under that one for the Mets is going to be Strawberry. He will make that catch, and that will be out number 1. And here's Milner. Milner today is 1 for 3 with a single and a stolen base. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 476 against a righty, a 476 is going to be popped up on the infield. Johnson will get under that one at third base for the Mets. He will make that catch, and that will be 2 outs in the inning. And here's Venable. Venable today is 1 for 3 with a triple. Darling gets the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. 689. Uh-oh, that sounds like trouble. A 689 is actually going to be a base hit for Venable. He will come through with a 2-out single and give Darling his first point of pitcher fatigue today. And the batter now is Rose. Rose today is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Venable, not much of a threat. He will hold. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 133. That's going to turn into a 333. And Rose is going to work a 2-out walk out of the at-bat. And that'll be the second point of pitcher fatigue against Darling. Fans here at Shea Stadium are nervous. Here's Parker. Parker is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. We're going to get some activity in the Mets bullpen as, let's see, righty-righty switch. The Mets are going to get Doug Sisk warming up in the bullpen. Darling will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. That is going to be a 472 against a righty. 472. Parker is going to come through, and he's going to give the Reds the lead. I believe, at the very least, this game is going to be tied. I believe both runs are going to score. I know Venable will score. I'm pretty sure Rose will as well. Parker will end up at second. Yep. 2-1 in favor of the Reds. Stadium barfs. Blah. Manager trying to tell the Mets, trying to tell Darling to get out of the inning. Sisk needs more time. And Darling is due to bat 4th in the inning anyway. Here's Bell. Bell is 0 for 1. Reds now have a 2-1 lead. Fans at Shea Stadium do not like what they see. Darling gets the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 109, that'll turn into a 309, and Bell's going to swing through the curveball for strike 3. That will retire the side. But the Reds managed to take the lead with 2 runs on 2 hits and a walk. Score is now 2-1 Reds as we are set for the 7th inning stretch. Feel free to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, but again, I won't torture you guys with my rendition of it. I will, however, take a small break. As Dice Baseball Digest now joins us here at Shea Stadium. I'm still technically on break, but we will talk about that in a minute. Let's see. You love season ticket baseball. Glad to hear that. You love my streams. You haven't seen me on yours to learn new games. Well, when do you stream? I'm curious when you stream Dice Baseball Digest because I don't know if schedules don't line up or what it is. I do like learning new stuff, actually. So I'd love to be able to stop by your streams a bit more, but I'm curious about when you stream because that may be the problem, that schedules aren't lining up. Coming back to business, though, we do still have fast score after today's game. Our next game is going to be later tonight. It'll be July 27th, 1985. We will be at the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota, as the Detroit Tigers will be taking on the Minnesota Twins. Randy O'Neal will be on the hill for the Tigers, and John Butcher will be up for the Twins. That should be a good one. Tigers and Twins later tonight. Bottom of the 7th is going to see the second half of the You Gave Up Streaming a Long Time Ago. Now you share recordings for convenience. Well, I'll have to check out your channel. Let's do this. I will make a note here. There we go. Actually, I think some of your videos, Dice Baseball Digest, were kind of how I started looking a little bit more at Fall Classic. Because I wanted to see if there was anything about the fast action cards. You don't do live interviews. Interviewers are never prepared for me. Well, good to know. I'm not really much for interviews anyway. I usually am a bit more of a solo act, but I'm looking at doing some multiplayer stuff potentially later this year. Style is very different. Okay, good to know on that. Bottom of the 7th coming up, now coming back to business, as Foster now steps into the batter's box. Foster is 0 for 1. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and here comes the pitch. That is a 3-12, and that's going to be a called strike 3 on Foster as the slider gets enough of the corner to be a called strike 3. Oh, it isn't lining up. It wasn't looking like it. Catches enough of the corner. Foster knows he should have swung at it. 1 out in the inning, and here's Johnson. Johnson today is 1 for 2 with a single. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 536. That's over to first base. That's Rose. And a 536 is going to be a base hit into right field. Johnson could try to stretch that to a double, but he's not going to. He will hold it first, and that'll be the first point of pitcher fatigue against Browning. Santana, now the batter. Santana's 0 for 2. Once I get back over to the chart, the infield is going to double play depth for the Reds. But the Mets are going to do a hit and run here. They will put that on. As Browning gets the sign from Billardeo. He will set. Here's the kick. And here comes the pitch. That is a 127. That'll turn into a 327. And that's going to be a base hit on the infield. As Johnson will make it to third. Santana to first. And that's the second point of pitcher fatigue on Browning. That should be a 1B star. The infield has got to play in. They don't want the tying run to score. Darling is going to come out of the game. The Mets are going to the bench here. Mets are taking about 2 seconds to be like, Ron, get back here. Darling, get back here. We're going to the bench for this one. Coming in to pinch hit for the Mets. Mets probably want some serious power here. So yeah, I think they're going to go to their. I think they're going to go to their big gun here. If I can ever speak English, they're going to bring Clint Hurdle into pinch hit for the Reds or for the Mets. 195 average, 3 homers, 7 RBI in 85. His job is to get Johnson home and tie this game and potentially more. Yes, it is a close game. Yeah, actually, the last couple of games I think I've had on the board have both been pretty close games. Browning will get the sign from Billardeo. Reds are telling him, try to get us out of the inning. Hume can come in whenever. Browning will set, and he will pitch. That is a 416 against the lefty. The bases are now full of Mets. Wow. Hold on, I've got to finish updating this. That may be it for Browning. I just need Digital Diamond to catch up with me. And yes, I think that is going to be it for Browning. He is going to come out of the game. Ronnie, Yale, or Harvard? Not sure where you're going with that, but coming back to business, Browning is going to come out of the game. The Reds are in too dangerous a situation right now, but all three runners right now are Browning's problem. Coming into pitch for the Reds is going to be Tom Hume. Once Digital Diamond decides it wants to cooperate with me. 3-5 with a 3.26 ERA, 80 innings pitched, 50 strikeouts, 35 home runs, 7 home runs in 85. His job is to get the Reds out of this bases loaded jam with 1 out in the inning. Here's Dykstra. Dykstra today is 0 for 3. Might have been a little bit of an overreaction, but I think the Reds are just in too scary a situation here. Hume will get the sign from Billardale. He will set, and he will pitch into a 270 against the lefty. 270 is going to be a fly ball into right field. Getting under that one is going to be Parker. He will make that catch for out number 2, and that is not going to be deep enough to bring Johnson home. Fans at Shea Stadium, of course, are on their feet. They're hoping the Mets can get a big-time hit out of this bases-loaded situation. Here's Chapman. Chapman is 1 for 3 with a double. Hume, 1 out away from escaping a very bad jam. He will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 693. Uh-oh. 703. That is deep to center field. Chapman has got a power of a 0, though. This doesn't need to get out of here to give the Mets the lead, though. What can Chapman do as this one is deep to center field? That'll get this out of here. That'll give the Mets the lead, as that's going to be a base hit into center field. 2 runs are going to score. Johnson and Santana will both score. Actually, I think that's going to be a bases clearing single. That seems... Oh, wait. Phoenix, you've got to remember not to do the S8 stuff. It's always 1B. So Johnson will score. Santana will score. Hurdle, I believe, goes to third. Chapman to first. 3-2, favor of the Mets. Stadium cheers. Yay! Actually, oh no, wait, looks like we've still got the bases loaded. Never mind. So Hurdle should be at second. No, I'm pretty sure plus. Let me look at that. 1B plus should end with... Yeah, that should end with both runners scoring. I don't know why Digital Diamond isn't cooperating with me on that. So a 1B plus, bear with me a second, I've got to back this up a little bit. But a 1B plus should end with both runners scoring. So 1B plus, let's try a 1B plus. Because we know with a single, Johnson should score. Just make sure this, yep, okay, there we go. Now we get where we wanted to be. Score is now 3-2 in favor of the Mets. As Hume now is trying to get out of a pretty bad jam. Hernandez, now the batter. Hernandez today is 0 for 3. Hume with a disastrous inning. He will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. I'm just noting in the score sheet where Hume came in. That's a 456 against a righty. 456. Hernandez is going to come through with that one. That's going to be a double, and the Mets are going to get another run. Chapman is going to be content at third. Hurdle comes in to score. Chapman to third. Hernandez to second. 4-2 in favor of the Mets. Stadium cheers. Yay! And here's Carter, as the Mets are now looking at potentially blowing this game wide open. Actually, we should have 3 runs scoring. Carter now. Carter had the solo home run that's opened the scoring. Seems like a lifetime ago that this was a 1-0 game. But the Mets are still potentially blowing this open. Hume will get the sign from Villardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. 392. A 392. About blowing that open. Carter is going to blow this thing wide open with a boom! That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep. That ball is gone. 3-run bomb, Gary Carter. And just like that, the Mets now take a 7-2 lead. Stadium cheers. Yay! Reds bench can't believe what they see. Batter now is Strawberry. Strawberry is 0 for 3. And the Mets are about to bat around. The Reds are going to get some more activity in the bullpen as Hume just came in and just blew this thing apart for the Reds. John Franco is going to start getting loose for the Reds in the bullpen. As Hume just picked a day to be like, no, guys, we're not going to get anywhere in this race. Hume will get the sign from Villardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 689, which will turn into a 699, and Strawberry is going to trot to first with a free pass. And the Mets have officially batted around in the inning. Foster started this inning way back when, it seems like now, with a strikeout. He's 1 for 3 tonight, though, with a double. Hume looking rattled on the mound as he's seen the entire hit parade for the Mets. He's seen the entire lineup now. Hume will get the sign from Villardeo. He will set. He will pitch. That is a 298 against a righty 298. Ho! Foster gets into one. That is deep to left field. Foster has got a power of a 9. Are we about to see another pitching change by the Reds? Wait, 9 and 13. Foster gets under that one, and that's going to be popped up, or that's going to be a fly ball into left field. Somehow, getting under that one is Venable. He's back to the track, back to the wall. He leaps, and he makes a spectacular catch at the wall to rob Foster of another home run. Stadium barfs. Blah. But how much barfing can the Mets really be doing here? 6 runs on 3 for 5 hits and 2 walks. And the Mets have blown this one open to take a 7-2 lead after 7. That was a close play in left field and a spectacular play by Venable. And Digital Diamond is yelling at me that the Mets need a pitcher. So they're going to go to the bullpen. And they're going to send out Doug Sisk to keep this game locked down right where it is. 4-5 with a 5.30 ERA. 73 innings pitched, 26 strikeouts, 40 walks, and 3 home runs in 85. Concepcion will lead off the top of the 8th for the Reds. Concepcion is 0 for 3 today. Sisk will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 484 against a righty, and that's going to be a fly ball into center field. Dykstra will get under that one for the Mets. He will make the catch, and that'll be out number 1. Esther, now the batter. Esther today is 0 for 3. Sisk will get the sign from Carter once again. He will set, Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. With a 629. Going over to Shea Stadium, that's going to be popped up on the infield to short. Getting under that one is going to be Santana. He will make the catch, and that will be out number 2. Here's Billardeo. Billardeo is 0 for 2 with a walk. Sisk will get the sign from Carter once again. He will set, and here comes the pitch. 332. 332 is going to be a called strike 3 as the Heat catches the outside corner for strike 3. That will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Reds here in the top of the 8th as we get set for the bottom of the 8th. The Reds look at Tom Hume and they're like, Tom, go home. You're drunk. You couldn't pitch your way out of a wet paper bag in the bottom of the 7th. Coming in to pitch for the Reds to try to hold this carnage down. Is going to be John Franco. 12-3 with a 2.18 ERA. 99 innings pitched, 61 strikeouts, 40 walks, 5 home runs in 85. His job, keep this game from getting out of control. Here's Johnson. Johnson is 2 for 3 with 2 singles tonight. Franco will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set. Here's the kick, and here's the pitch. That is a 236. I was about to read it as a 632, but no. 236 against a switch right is going to be a ground ball over to second. Esther will get that one. He will make the throw over to first. Grounder to second. Okay. So yeah, that was Esther getting to that one. He'll make the play for out number 1. Sorry, I had a little bit of doubt there for a second. 1 out in the inning, and here's Santana. Santana tonight is 1 for 3. Franco will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. That is a 558. Getting into that one is going to be the third baseman. That is Bell, and a 558. Bell's going to boot that one, and Santana will be safe at first. So Santana safe at first. The infield goes to double play depth. Sisk they're going to let Sisk bat here. They want to eat up some innings here. So the Mets, what are the Mets going to do here? They probably should pinch hit in all honesty, but they're going to let Sisk get some innings in. Franco will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set, and he will pitch. 253. He's got a contact of a 0, so 250. So we come down here to contact ratings under 2 with a contact rating of a 0. And a 253 is going to be a swing and a miss, and Sisk will strike out on the high heat for out number 2. Here's Dykstra. Dykstra tonight is 0 for 4. 2 outs in the inning. Mets with a 7-2 lead. Franco will get the sign from Billardeo. He will set. He will pitch. That is a 268 against a lefty. 268 is going to be popped up on the infield to third base. Getting under that one for the Reds is going to be Bell. He will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Nothing across except the error for the Mets. Score is now 7-2 New York after 8. But of course, we have the age-old question up next. That is, will we see some 9th inning magic? Anything can happen here in season ticket, especially on the board. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen on the board. We're going to start by pulling Franco out of the game. The Reds are going to go to the bench. They need to get somebody on base like yesterday. Coming into bat. The Reds need to start biting a lot of runs out. Here is Nick Asaski coming up. 262 average, 21 home runs, 66 RBI, and 85. He will be the batter. He'll be the batter for the Reds. I'm going to note here the pinch hitter. Okay, there we go. Sisk will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. 627. And a 627 is going to be popped up on the infield. Getting under that at second base is going to be Chapman. He will make the catch for out number 1. Here's Milner. Milner today is 1 for 4. Sisk will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. With a 458. Milner against a righty, 458. Milner is going to get into one. He'll be at third base, and that's going to be a triple. Reds trying to make it interesting here. Here's Venable. Venable today is 2 for 4 with a triple of his own. The infield is going to play back. They want the outs. They're willing to concede the run. Sisk will get the sign from Carter. That should also be Sisk's first point of pitcher fatigue. Sisk will set, and he will pitch. With a 635, that'll turn into a 640 because of Sisk's fatigue. And a 640 is going to be a fly ball into center field. Dykstra will get under that one. It's a shallow fly ball, though. 2 outs in the inning. It won't be deep enough to score Milner. 2 outs, and the last chance for the Reds comes down to Pete Rose. Rose today is 1 for 2 with 2 walks. Sisk, fans at Shea Stadium are loud, hoping Sisk can get the job done here. Sisk will get the sign from Carter. He will set. Here's the kick, and here comes the pitch. That is a 420. Rose against a righty, 420. Rose is going to work a 2-out walk out of the at-bat, and the Reds are trying to come back. That is Rose's 3rd walk today. And that'll also be the second point of pitcher fatigue on Sisk. Here's Parker. Parker today is 2 for 3 with a single, a double, and a walk. The Mets are going to get some activity in the bullpen just in case the Reds are able to extend this game. They're going to get Roger McDowell warming up just in case the Reds suddenly do anything cute. Sisk will get the sign from Carter. He will set, and he will pitch. 239. That'll be Sisk against a righty. A lefty, 239, is going to be a ground ball over to second. Grabbing that one is going to be Chapman. He will take that. He'll jump on the bag himself, and that's your game. The New York Mets escape a scare here in the top of the 9th as they manage to defeat the Cincinnati Reds by a final score of 7-2. Stadium cheers. Yay! Final line score coming up. I just heard something. I will go check on that in a little bit. But we still have some business to transact here. For the Mets, 7 runs on 10 hits and no errors. For the Reds, 2 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. Winning pitcher, once I get the box score pulled up. Let's see, here we go. Winning pitcher in this one is Ron Darling. Tom Browning will take the loss in this one. But of course, you guys know we are not done yet. We still have to ask the rest of the majors how they did, and to do that, we're going to do a little bit of cleanup. This one was a chess match until the bottom of the 7th when the Mets just said, okay, we've had enough of playing chess. Now we want to knock the board over. And they exploded for 6 runs in the 7th. And the Mets decided that the chess match was over at that point. We're just going to muscle this game into the record books. It is now time to ask our friends at Fast Score Baseball how the rest of the majors fared. The Mets get an explosion of runs in the 7th and win this one by a final score of 7-2. But let's bring my drink over as well, and we'll see how the rest of the majors fared here on July 23rd, 1985. We will get started with the Athletics and the Red Sox. Athletics, 1363, that is 8. Red Sox, 1024, that is 3. 3, there we go. And that'll be a win for the Athletics. Tigers and the White Sox are both 9s. Tigers roll a 24, that is 3. White Sox roll a 53, that is 5. And that's a win for the White Sox. Yankees and the Royals. Yankees, 711 is 0. Royals, 1051, that is 5. And that's a win for Kansas City. Angels and the Brewers are both 11s. Angels roll a 26, that is 3. Brewers roll a 21, that is just barely 2, but that barely is enough to give the Angels the win. Orioles and the Twins. Orioles, 1841, that is 6. Twins, 1243, that is 5. And that's a win for the Brownbirds. Indians and the Rangers. Indians, 764, that is 7. Rangers, 1012, that is 1. And that's a win for the Indians. Mariners and the Blue Jays. Mariners, 514, that is 1. Blue Jays, 723, that is 2. And the Bluebirds are going to beat the Seafarers. Pirates and the Dodgers. Pirates, 065, that is 6. Dodgers, 263, that is also 6. They will go to extras. Pirates roll a 4, -2 is 2. Dodgers roll a 4 plus 0. That'll be a win for the Dodgers in extras. As DJ John 4444 now joins us here for Fast Score. All good that you missed it, DJ John. I know Saturday afternoon's a weird night to see me streaming, but we will be back to normal later tonight, as we'll have a second block, but I'll talk more about that after we get out of Fast Score. Astros and the Phillies. Actually, let me make sure I get those wins marked first, or that game marked first. Okay. We were on Braves and Expos, actually. I skipped over the Astros and the Phillies. Well, we'll do Astros and the Phillies now, since that's what I rolled. Then we'll go back to the Braves and the Expos. Sorry, I'm rambly. Astros, 13-26. That is 4. Phillies, 11-21. That is 2. That's a win for the Astros. Now we'll go back for the Braves and the Expos. Braves, 3-23, that is 2. Expos, 10-16, that is also 2. They will go to extras. Braves roll a 3, plus 1 is 4. Expos roll a 4, plus 1 is 5. That'll be a win by the Expos in extras. Cubs and the Padres are both 7s. Cubs roll a 21, that is 2. Padres roll a 16, that is also 2. They too will go to extras. Cubs roll a 6 plus 0. Padres roll a 1 plus 0. That'll be a win for the Baby Bears as they tame the Friars in extras. Cardinals and the Giants. Cardinals, 955, that is 6. Giants, 151, that is 3. And the Redbirds double up the G-Men. On to July 24th, Athletics and the Red Sox. Athletics, 935, that is 4. Red Sox, 11-12, that is 1, and that's a win for the Athletics. Tigers and the White Sox are both 8s. Tigers roll a 36, that is 4. White Sox roll a 66, that is 9, and that's a win for the White Sox. Yankees and the Royals. Yankees, 862, that is 7. Royals, 633, that is 3. That's a win for the Yankees. Angels and the Brewers. Angels, 1014, that is 1. Brewers, 924, that is 3. And that's a win for the Brewers. Orioles and the Twins. Orioles, 1762, that is 9. Twins, 1034, that is 4. And the Brownbirds win again. Indians and the Rangers. Indians, 1431, that is 4. Rangers, 432, that is 2. And that's a win for the Tribe. Mariners and the Blue Jays. Mariners, 463, that is 6. Blue Jays, 1431, that is 4. And that's a win for the Mariners. Pirates and the Dodgers. Pirates, -131, that is 1. Dodgers, 1013, that is also 1. In a game nobody wants to win, they will go to extras. Pirates roll a 5, minus 2 is 3. Dodgers roll a 2, plus 0 is 2. Somehow that will be a win for the Pirates in extras. A bad loss by the Dodgers. Braves and the Expos. Braves, 562, that is 6. Expos, 1012, that is 1. And that's a win for the Braves. Reds and the Reds and the Mets as the Reds are looking for a measure of revenge. Reds, 842, that is 4. Mets, 1045, that is 5. And the Reds won't get it there as the Mets take another win. Astros and the Phillies. Astros, 856, that is 6. Phillies, 1043, that is 5. And that's a win for the Astros. Cubs and the Padres. Cubs, 813 is 1. Padres, 522, that is 2. And that's enough for the Friars to bless that game for a win. Cardinals and the Giants. Cardinals, 1235, that is 4. Giants, negative 565, that is 5. And the Giants get that win. On to July 25th, Mariners and the Red Sox. Mariners, 945, that is 5. Red Sox, 1513, that is 2. And that's a win for the Mariners. Hold on, something's not right here. Seattle is against Toronto to start the block. Okay, never mind. Panic over. Orioles and the White Sox. Orioles, 1636, that is 5. White Sox, 1315, that is 2. And that's a win for the Orioles. The Orioles suddenly starting to get hot from the looks of it. Athletics and the Brewers. Athletics, 1765, that is 10. Brewers, 1046, that is 5. And the Athletics double up the Brew Crew. Tigers and the Twins. Oh, I was wondering where my other die was. Tigers, 1354, that is 7. Twins, 616, that is 1. And that's a win for the Tigers. Angels and the Blue Jays. Angels, 265, that is 7. Blue Jays, 842, that is 4. That's a win for the Angels. Cubs and the Dodgers. Cubs, 525, that is 2. Dodgers, 1442, that is 5. And the Dodgers get back on their winning ways. Reds and the Expos. Excuse me. Reds, 734, that is 3. Expos, 665, that is 8. And that's a win for the Expos. Astros and the Mets. Astros, negative 262, that is 4. Mets, 854, that is 5. And that's a win for the Mets. Braves and the Phillies. Braves, 641, that is 4. Phillies, 13-32, that is also 4. They will go to extras. Braves roll a 1, plus 1 is 2. Phillies roll a 6, minus 3 is 3, but that'll still be plenty to give the Phillies the win in extras. Cardinals and the Padres. Cardinals, 921, that is 2. Padres, 1042, that is 4. And the Padres get that win. Pirates and the Giants. Pirates, 652, that is 5. Giants, 816, that is 2. And that's a win for the Pirates. Last day of the block, July 26th. Mariners and the Red Sox. Mariners, 1043, that is 5. Red Sox, 2135, that is 6. And that somehow is barely a win for the Red Sox. Orioles and the White Sox. Orioles, 28-23, that is 5. White Sox, 14-54, that is 7. And that's a win for the White Sox. Indians and the Royals. Indians, 912 is 0, or 912 is 1 actually. Royals, 1811, that is also 1. They will go to extras. Indians roll a 3, minus 3 is 0. Royals roll a 3, plus 2 is 5. That'll be a win for the Royals in extras. Athletics and the Brewers. Athletics, 1511, that is 0. Brewers, 1644, that is 6. And that's a win for the Brewers. Tigers and the Twins, we will see these two later tonight. Tigers, 1233, that is 4. Twins, 922, that is 2. And that's a win for the Tigers. Maybe an omen of things to come later tonight. Yankees and the Rangers. Yankees, 1732, that is 5. Rangers, 245, that is 3. And that's a win for the Pinstripes. Angels and the Blue Jays. Angels, 656, that is 6. Blue Jays, 711 is 0. That'll be a win for the Angels. Cubs and the Dodgers. Cubs, 712 is 0. Dodgers, 1433, that is 4. That's a win for the Dodgers. Reds and the Expos. Reds, 1063, that is 7. Expos, 623, that is 2. And that's a win for the Reds. Braves and the Phillies. Braves, 943, that is 4. Phillies, 1035, that is also 4. They will go to extras. Braves roll a 4, plus 1 is 5. Phillies roll a 5, minus 3 is 2. That'll be a win for the Braves in extras. Cardinals and the Padres. Cardinals, 7-11 is 0. Padres, 631. That is 3. And that's a win for the Padres. Last up in today's first block, the Pirates and the Giants. Pirates, 664. That is 7. Giants, 723. That is 2. And that'll be a win by the Pirates. And that will do it for block number 27 of 1985 in this replay. We will be back to it later this afternoon, as we'll be at the Metrodome this time, as the Detroit Tigers will be playing the Minnesota Twins. Randy O'Neal will be going for the Tigers, and John Butcher will be up for the Twins. As for what else is coming up on the channel, tomorrow morning we're going to be wrapping the winter campaign in Arkham Horror the card game with the last scenario of the Scarlet Keys, Congress of the Keys. Wednesday we'll be playing game number 2 on my War Room 10-game challenge list, as we play Mag 23 Guadalcanal by Historic Wings. Next week, Mystical Munchies will continue out of the Recipes of the World of Tolkien cookbook with the side, Strawberry and Lavender Shortcakes. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone. The New York Mets ride a 6-run explosion in the bottom of the 7th to a 7-2 victory over the Reds. Once again, take care.